Broadcasting live from MagicFest Seattle on the plane of Earth, this is Tap Tap Concede. Hello, everybody. I'm Graham.
Hi, I'm Serge.
I'm James. Just give a minute.
Hold up. Wait for it.
Audio-only listeners, he's eating a pretzel.
I'm Cameron.
There we go.
It's a pretzel that's large, but not $6 large.
$6.50.
Oh, $6.50.
Earth dollars.
American.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
That's like
enjoying
30
the
Canadian
American
dollars.
delicacy of semi-liquid cheese.
Semi-liquid cheese.
Gross.
You're going to have to...
Eat on the mic.
We're going to have to really make sure that we hear every moment of that. Yeah.
Welcome to a special
God.
Tap Tap Concede. It's
put the
all
thing on the
Cameron
microphone.
chewing ASMR.
So we
Gross.
are indeed live at MagicFest Seattle. If you're listening to the recorded version of this, that's why it sounds like it do.
We're sorry.
And we have a variety of wonderful people here live with us in person, which is exciting.
Hi, friends.
And we're going to talk about some stuff, and then we're going to...
The cues.
take some questions, which is
Yeah.
something we never get to do. Oh my God, we don't have a pack to
Yeah, I was
crack.
just going to say, we don't have a...
I do. I have one donated from a fan.
No way.
We have
Perfect.
a second, yeah.
Like at the show.
Yeah, at the show.
Oh.
Yesterday at the D&D panel, a fan
This is
gave me a pack.
perfect.
So thank you very much to Tamor from MagicFest Seattle.
Oh, well, great. This is a pack of War of the Spark.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, you guys, I've got a raging crunch.
All right, gross.
Good start.
Don't
Good
talk
start.
about that.
3
on
and
the
red for a
panel.
4/3, can't attack alone.
I like that card a lot.
It's honestly way better than it looks. There's no card reader.
Paul.
Dennis,
There's no-
where's our card reader?
There's no
Paul.
card reader camera. I'll just hold it up.
Yeah, there you go.
Paul,
And,
card reader's broken.
Maybe if you squint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Battlefield promotion. 1 and a white instant. Target creature gets a +1/+1 counter and first strike, and you gain 2 life.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
It slices. It dices. It's good.
Yeah,
I like it.
I still like the crunch more.
Sky Theater Strix.
Ooh.
1 and a blue, 1/2 bird. With flying, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn.
I like that one.
They made Stormcrow better
Yeah.
somehow. No, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like.
Legitimately very good.
I like Crunch and the Strix in the blue-red spells deck.
I just love the blue-red spells archetype across Magic, and anything that
Yeah.
adds to that is sweet.
Snare Spinner.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Oh, Spider.
The
Yeah.
natural predator of the Sky Theater Strix.
Exactly. Tidebearer Giant. 5. I didn't say what Snare Spinner did. It's 1 and a green for a 1/3 with reach, and whenever it blocks a flyer, it gets +2/+0. Tidebearer Giant is 5 and a black for a 4/5, and when it enters the battlefield, you draw cards and lose a life.
These are
Also
all
very
actually
good.
really good cards.
These are all perfectly playable cards. Yeah.
And in all 5 colors.
Yeah, I was
And
about to say.
It just keeps getting better. Burning Prophet, 1 and a red. It's a 1/3 human wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets +1/+0, and then you scry 1.
Yep.
Love it.
Obnixilus's Cruelty.
What the hell? This pack
This
is
is a
great.
really good
2 and a
pack.
black, instant. Target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn. If it dies, exile it.
I kind of want this pack for sealed now.
Jaya's Greeting, also excellent.
Okay.
1 and a
Okay.
red, instant. Deal 3 damage to target creature, scry 1.
All right, here's a dud.
Okay, totally lost. Not
That's
a dud,
Still,
but
it's still fine. It's,
it's still
totally
fine,
playable.
yeah. All right, 4 and a blue, instant. Put target creature on top of its owner's library. Centaur Nurturer, also not terrible.
Yeah.
Definitely on the lower scale.
On the
though.
lower scale, but it's quite a bell curve we're working with here.
Yeah.
3 and a green for a 2/4 ETB, gain 3 life.
Can you imagine if that's the worst card in the pack? Is the
Centaur
Centaur?
Nurturer?
Yeah.
I mean, we're on to the uncommons now.
Holy
Like,
moly.
Worst card in the pack is Pillarfield Dogs with upside.
Yeah. All right.
Chandra's Triumph.
Okay.
1 and a red, deal 3. If you control a Chandra Planeswalker, deal 5 instead. 2 creature or Planeswalker.
Dece.
Okay, Liliana's Triumph.
There we go.
1 and a black, instant. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. If you control a Liliana Planeswalker, they also discard a card.
Yeah.
This card's fine.
I mean,
It's still
fine.
an edict.
In limited, it's like,
Sure.
But, I mean, yeah, like that and Centaur Nurturer are the worst cards.
I think I saw that in like Legacy Pox lists now because you're already playing 6 copies of Lily, and yeah, it's just a better edict.
All right. Last uncommon, Angrath.
oh, yeah.
Angrath, Captain of Chaos. 2 Rakdos, 5 loyalty Planeswalker. Creatures have menace. -2 to amass 2.
That's my first pick now.
He's great.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Angrath's
hold on.
awesome.
What if the rare is the worst card in the pack?
Well, let's find out. It's not amazing,
Okay.
but I don't think it's the worst card in the pack. It's Blast Zone.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a land, enters untapped with a charge counter on it, taps for a colorless, and for XX and tap, put X counters on it.
Yeah.
And for 3 and tap and sack it, destroy each non-land permanent with converted mana cost equal to the number of charge counters on Blast Zone.
So I went on an interesting journey with that card. I was really excited about that card.
Yeah.
And then I got really unexcited about that card. And I've been told that it's fine. So I don't know how to make up my mind on
I
it.
guess it
People
is
are
fine.
they're like, Serge, it's a land. You should love it. Put it in lands. I'm like, eh.
Before we move on from the pack, I just realized that because of the nature of this episode, I didn't do all the things we normally do at the beginning of the show.
Oh, yeah, right.
Which is to say, despite the fine assistance we have had from the folks at CFB events, Tap Tap Conceit is brought to you by CardKingdom.com.
Card Kingdom.
Please
Kingdom
check
of
out
Cards.
CardKingdom.com/LRR for all of your Card Kingdom needs. Also, this show is brought to you by you, some of you, and your
Hi.
kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun. Thank you. James, what did you want to talk about?
I don't know.
You had an idea, I thought.
My idea was basically just talk about the GP and then take questions.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you
GP
having a good
talk.
time at the Magic Fest?
I am.
Cam?
I've been able to play a lot of games of Magic, and I've won 2.
2.
No, 3.
3.
Not matches.
Games. Ooh. All right. Moving on.
I was in the main event on Friday, and my deck was fine.
Yeah.
It was deeply unexciting, and I went 0-1, and that's not enough of a reason to stop, but I was like, I'm really not feeling 9 hours of Magic today without a break, right? And so I was like, and Adam, who went 1-0 and dropped so that he could draft, I was like, yeah, that sounds great. So I dropped with him, and we went and drafted.
Wait, Adam just dream crushed someone and then walked away?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
didn't even get, he didn't concede. He just won, and then...
Yep.
That's the thing. If you know you're going to drop, at least
No.
courtesy
No.
concede.
That's not how Adam rolls.
You beat them, and you're like, you know what? I'm
This
not
is
really
real
feeling-
life, Serge.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, Adam, you're a monster.
That's not how Adam do.
No.
But I know Ben made a run at it.
Yeah.
Ben
Yeah.
went,
Ben had the tantalizing run where he went like
he went 3-0.
he went 1-0, 2-0, 3-0,
3-0.
3-1, okay,
Yeah.
4-1,
Yeah.
Still in it.
And then
4-2,
No.
4-3, and I think he dropped at 4-3, or did he go
Yeah,
4-4?
no, he dropped.
Yeah,
at
well, at
4-3.
3
Yeah.
losses, you are eliminated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the dream is still alive at 2, but not at 3.
Yeah. So that's the one that keeps you in the longest with the tantalization of day 2ing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I've done 6 or 7 Modern Horizons drafts.
I've done a
now.
lot of drafts.
Yeah, I think. I don't understand that format.
I don't know if anyone does.
Split the finals once and lost in the second round a few times. I really like drafting the black-red sacrifice goblin-y deck,
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
but I can never seem to get it right.
I never get enough war parties.
Yeah,
That's
and then
it's Goblin War Party. It's 3
4
and a
mana
red.
sorcery, yeah.
Yeah, 3 and a red, 4 mana sorcery, and you either make 3 1/1 goblins, or all your creatures get +1/+1 in haste. But you can also entwine for an additional 3 and a red.
2 in a red.
Yeah.
2 and a red, sorry.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
7
seven
altogether,
mana
yeah.
total.
Yeah.
But mostly I just want the goblins so I can sack them to Bogart and Dragonheart.
Or the lieutenant.
Or the lieutenant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was able to assemble that deck with 3 war parties yesterday, and a lieutenant, and a carrion feeder, and a couple of other things, and a Yawgmoth.
Ooh.
Wow.
How's Yawgmoth go in that shell?
He's pretty happy, Graham. He's just a handsome man who loves eating goblins.
Wow.
The same putrid goblin. The
I-
same putrid goblin?
I did have an opportunity in that deck at one point to I did not win this match. I should say after I went 0-1 and dropped and went to draft, I also lost in the first round of 3 drafts. So Friday was not a great day Magic-wise. It was fun otherwise, but not a great day Magic-wise for me. But I won a game with the red-black sacrifice deck with I was hellbent top decked Unearth and was able to unearth Orcish Hellraiser, which is a 3/2 for 1 and a red, and with Echo for 1. But when it dies, it deals 2 damage to a player.
Yeah.
So unearthed Hellraiser, sacked Hellraiser to Bogarden Dragonheart to get in for 6 total, and that
Weird-
closed that one.
Weird flex, Graham, because I was your opponent in that game.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah. Yeah, you eliminated me in that draft. That's how you won.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were in the mirror weirdly.
Yeah.
We were only 3 seats away. We were both in red black.
That was round 2.
Yeah.
Was that the one you split in the final?
Yes.
All right.
Also, I feel like a huge heel because we did the draft with Loading Ready Run event on Saturday, where it's like, okay, there's 6 of us, so 42 players, and you'll get paired up like seven people and 7 regular humans, and then one member of one gremlin from Loading Ready Run in the pod. So we fired 6 pods, which was super great, and I realized. So I made it to the finals of my pod, and then I realized partway through game 1 that I had not offered a split.
Oh.
So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I guess we're actually just playing. So I won.
Nice.
So I was like, come play with Loading Ready Run. Get crushed by Graham.
Nice.
Although this was nice. We had one of our exclusive MagicFest playmats, one for each pod, as the grand prize. So as my opponent and I are in the finals. I don't need it. My opponent already had one that he'd been having us sign. So we said to the people that we eliminated in round 2, we were like, well, how about this? You 2 play a match for the playmat, and they were like, that sounds great.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So, right
yeah.
on.
Yeah, so they got to play more, and one of them got the playmat out of that.
These.
So that was fun.
So
That's
my
cool.
experience at MagicFest Seattle hasn't been as much limited. I've had a couple of drafts.
Well, you've been playing Highlander the whole time.
I've been playing Canadian Highlander the whole time, and it's been so
because they've been
good.
firing an event every day.
This is amazing. So 2 years ago, if I went to a GP, maybe if we tried really hard, the organizers would let us have a table space at the back, and we could just like degenerate, try and run our own event or something like that. A year ago, we could try and get an event to fire, but we'd have troubles because the community, not everyone owned all the cards. There'd be CE, there'd be proxies, things. As people are getting into the format, not really established. And now at this event, we had an event on Friday. Wait, was the first day Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, what even is time anymore?
I don't
There was
know.
an event on Thursday, there was an event on Friday, there was an event on Saturday, and then today on Sunday, there was so much demand, they added an extra event because so many people are here to jam Canadian Highlander, and that's fantastic.
Well, because there's a lot of players in Seattle as well.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if that's standard. I mean, adding another event, probably not. But does anyone know, is there like generally a Canadian Highlander event at Magic Fests now?
No,
in,
not
in
in the-
other places?
Yeah, like if you went to England,
Pretty often.
really,
Oh,
wow.
Says Dennis from CFB Events.
That's-
Thanks for having us again, by the
Yeah.
way.
That is so cool to watch a format that it was a little passion project of ours in Victoria is now becoming something that you can find at events all over the world is unbelievable and super cool. I had time to enter 2 events. I went 3-0 in the first one playing Blue White Tempo. And if I've learned anything, it's that Tempo sucks. Not like it's a bad archetype, but I don't have enough brain for all of this. Like, I like to play really janky types of archetypes. So it's like, all right, I'm either winning or I was never in the game at all. Like, I just got run over and that's fine. But Tempo, you're always on this knife's edge. You're like, I'm kind of winning, and at any point they could take that away from me and I'll never be able to take it back.
Right, yeah. Jared described to me that when he was playing Delver in Standard,
Yeah.
that it was always this process where he was avoiding losing the game that turn. And if he did that for enough turns, he won. But it was always stressful.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, well, I played 3 rounds of Canadian Highlander and I needed to take a nap. I was just so done.
How'd you do, though?
So 3-0 the first day, 2-1 the second day. So 5 and 6 in ranked matches on the weekend. So feeling positive
Nice.
and tired. Oh, so tired.
Yeah.
But like again, just filled with love and joy for this format that people are loving.
Yeah. James, what have you played apart from those drafts?
Drafts.
Drafts. Did you do a battle bond with Adam? Adam's been a degenerate for battle bond.
I don't like that format. I'm one of the bad. He's over there right now somewhere.
I see him, yeah. He's
he and
fighting
Wheeler
Gavin.
is fighting Gavin, by the way, who drafted single by himself. He drafted
Wow.
2 decks, and now he's fighting Adam and Ben Wheeler.
Are you trying to tell me that Gavin Verhey couldn't find a battle bond partner?
No, I think he just wanted to flex. So now he's probably just killing both of them by himself.
Wow.
I didn't know you could do that.
I mean, you can do whatever you
You
want.
know
I
what?
guess
If you
it's designed
designed,
the
if you
set.
designed the
It's- yeah,
set,
he-
yeah.
He's the god. He can do whatever he wants.
Oh, that's so funny.
So I hope he wins, because that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it became a thing. He challenged him on Twitter, and it turned into a whole deal. That's why he's not on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because it turned into a whole thing.
Yeah,
Now he has
yeah.
to prove his worth in the field of battle. Bond.
He looks like he's sweating, so I think he's going to lose.
Yeah, I can
Just
see
'cause it's
them
warm
from
in here.
Yeah.
Good luck, Adam and Ben.
You want to do
Take
some
Gavin
questions?
down.
Yeah, I guess so. Just generally, I've had a really great time. Meeting people has been awesome.
Yeah.
So many wonderful people have
So
come
many
up and said
people.
hi and asked. I have signed so many copies of Ayula this weekend,
Nice.
and it's great. I went through my various draft things this morning. I was like, okay, what do I need to go to the vendors and try to
Yeah.
sell off before I leave? And I was like, wait, Ayula, I don't have my own yet. I'll keep that one.
Nice.
Because the deck for game nights was we made a deck list and sent it, and then they arranged for it, because of course Ayula wasn't even released yet. But they're like, the way we do it now is you just send us the deck lists, we'll get the cards.
Yeah.
So that we don't have
Sure.
to worry about it, which is nice. And then when we got down there, they went, okay, also, here's Modern Horizons if you want to add other cards that you don't know about yet. So then we went through it, so I added like Ayula's Influence and Birthing Boughs and whatever. But I didn't get to keep that. So I still don't actually have a copy of Bear Force 1
Nice.
myself, but I need to build that because we got to play it on stream at some point.
Yeah.
It's very nice of people to ask you to sign good cards.
Yeah.
You cast Hovermere one time in a Friday night paper fight, and everyone comes up and is like, hey, I got a copy of Hovermere for you to sign. Like,
Oh man, we've had some deep cuts.
Yeah.
I think from the first 4-episode miniseries of Friday nights, someone came up to me this weekend and asked me to sign a Japanese knowledge pool. Yeah, you don't remember that joke, do you?
Yeah,
No.
That's a deep one.
Yeah.
This is a first event, and it doesn't count now because I'm saying it out loud. First event, MagicFest GP, that I have not seen a bump in the night.
oh,
It's been a very long. This is the first one I've ever not. And if any of you go out and buy one now, it doesn't count. You're cheating. But it's been very nice. I've been excited.
The curse is lifted.
The curse is apparently lifted. We can finally rest. But yeah. Oh, this is the first time we've had a booth, which has been really cool.
Yeah, this was really great.
Yeah.
Huge shout out to Beej, who just lives
Yeah.
there 12 hours a day.
Yeah. And to CFB for helping us
Get the booth.
helping us out with that.
And we got
Yay,
the
CFB.
play mat, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And did very well, and we'll probably do again.
CFB bought some for the prize wall, and those are gone too.
Yeah.
What a compliment. What a compliment. When
Yeah.
CFB's like, you have good merch.
That was nice. Literally, the head of CFB came by and was like, "Huh, you guys do good stuff." And I was like, "Oh, cool. All right, nice." So that was nice. Yeah, you want to do Q&A stuff now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Are you ready for that? You're good? Great. Sorry. I was
There's a
the
microphone
audio
right
guy.
here.
So, if anyone has any questions, please approach the microphone.
The
Hello.
microphone.
Hi. Get right up close to it.
Yeah, you gotta right
There
in
you
there.
go.
Yeah.
Tilted down about 30
Even
degrees.
closer to the mic. Get uncomfortably close.
Yeah.
Like this?
There you
Yeah.
go.
There you go.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Just first, thank you. Just get that out of the way.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
How do you guys choose the guests for the pre-releases? You always find people, great people that I've never heard of. I know the pool of Magic streaming is deep, but where do they all come from?
It's an arcane.
When a mummy and daddy love each other very
There's
much,
a-
they make content creators. And no,
We take a chicken.
yeah.
It's a lot of blood and feathers. I mean, it's mostly yourself and Trick, right?
Yeah,
I
James.
mean, it's mostly me
Trick,
and
who I also just saw.
yeah, Trick somewhere playing something with
All right.
someone. So he arranges for the Wizards of the Coast person, he being the Wizards of the Coast employee who helps make this happen. I mean, it helps that we come to these things, we're content creators, so we make friends with other content creators, and that's where most of the people come from. There's been people who, I mean, just recently, I had only ever met Brittany, MTG Nerd Girl, once before at Vegas a few years ago. But other than that, we didn't really know who she was.
Yeah.
We knew who she was, but she wasn't known to us. We hadn't worked with her before. So it's really nice. I like to try to generally, my rule of thumb is I like trying to make sure that there's one or two people there who we know, who we're comfortable with, who we know will work well on camera and work well off of each other and stuff like that. Obviously, there needs to be a Wizards of the Coast employee, and then I like trying to make sure that there's somebody there that we haven't worked with before, because it's nice to meet new people.
Yeah. Example recently, Adam Coble, who we just did the
Yeah.
D&D thing with yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
A fan of a fan of both of us on Twitter was like, "Yo, if you're doing D&D in Ravnica, we should like Loading Ready Run should get you on one of the pre-releases." And Adam was like, "I don't know what that is." And this fan just kept tweeting both of us, and I was like, I don't know who Adam Coble is, so I looked up who he was, and I was like, oh, he does D&D stuff and streams, and he's in Vancouver, which is like really close to where we were. And I was like, cool. So then I was just like, hey James, possible future PPR person, and then like 2 or 3 PPRs later, it was like, hey, Adam Coble's going to come over, and I'm like, cool, yeah,
That's basically it.
Yeah, there's no like official sign up application process. No. It's not formalized in any way.
I will say though, this is not like a warning, but like a caveat or whatever. Anyone here or at home, anyone, if you're thinking, hey, have you ever thought to invite so and so? I promise you, we have.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. Well, because we get a lot of questions, be like, oh, you guys should try to get LSV. You know, it's like, yeah,
we have.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not even that he doesn't want to. It's just like scheduling, right?
Yeah.
So name any content creator that like would be good to come to one of these things. I promise we've tried, but give us ideas anyway, because maybe we haven't heard of them. But if it's like a known quantity, it just hasn't been in the cards yet.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the question. Anybody else have a question? Oh, yeah, got some there. Feel free to like, I guess not line up because then you're right in front of the camera. But no, it's fine. No, you can approach. Whoop.
What?
Here. If we can move over for a second, let the CFB person come in.
All right, we'll do a question there. If you want to take a seat there, awesome.
Perfect.
You're next. Great. Hi.
Similar question to what was just asked, only with a different target. How do you guys come up with what form, because you come up with some really odd formats that you end up taking care of on Friday Night Paper Fight. What is the general mindset about how you put together the odd stipulations, the odd structures, the sometimes truly absurd formats that you guys end up playing?
Just mostly learning about them.
Yeah.
So the way that Friday, I'll give you the behind the scenes thing. Basically, we sit down and we'll organize a month of streams, and we try to hit a Highlander night, a limited night of some sort, and a Commander night. And then we have a fourth that's kind of like
Whatever
free
we
for all.
want, yeah.
And that's where things like
Potpourri.
Oathbreakers fallen in, or we've done Beachlander, or we've done Winston drafts, or anything else that we've done in the past sort of lands there. So, I mean, Commander and Highlander are generally pretty straightforward. Draft is, limited is limited. There's only so many ways that you can play it with the number of people that we have.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, it's just, if it's something that somebody has said, hey, this is really neat, in the case of Oathbreaker, like it's definitely gained a lot of popularity over the last few weeks and months, I guess, now at this point. And a lot of people kept asking us, and we're like, all right, let's check it out. So, I mean, if there's weird, strange formats out there that you want to see us play, it's best to just hit us up on Twitter or email us and be like, yo, this is a neat idea, and I think it would be fun.
And then some of them is just us like joking around and coming up with stuff, like, hey, because we want to do Commander on this night. Does anyone have any thoughts about how we could do that differently? And then that's where like the Ravnica only Commander one came from, was just like, oh yeah, what if we did this? Sure, that sounds fun. We actually have an idea for another one that we are going to do in a couple weeks.
The one that I want to do again was the $20 deck challenge.
Yeah.
Where we went out and pre-recorded that with the 4 players at Yellow Jacket while they build their decks. That was a lot of fun. I want to do that again because that was great. So
I love, and we had a lot of suggestions about like, oh, you could do it better if you did it, if you like ordered online or whatever, did it that way. But I actually love that it's not just the money, it's also
or the plan.
It's also that you have to find it.
What does your
physically
store
at
have?
this store? I really love that aspect of it.
You're like, well, got to pivot. They only have one copy of this 4 of I was building around. A couple of people act as real champions of formats as well. So I kind of, in the planning meetings, I'll represent Canadian Highlander because I've got, the North 100 cast, and we'll have an idea of what we want to do with something. Ben's done a really good job of stepping forward and championing various different nights for Commander. Likes that. Wizards, release schedule often influences what we draft.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, what do we have? It's like, well, this set just came out. And you're like, well, that's a no-brainer. We'll do that. Or, sometimes we get a box of something from fans. We're like,
But
well,
now we've got so 2020 comes out soon.
Yeah.
But then draft-wise, there's nothing new until the fall set. So I don't know. We've got a box of Innistrad kicking around.
Or there'll be a chaos draft that just lying around or something like that. That's when we look at the shelf and we go, okay.
Yeah. All right. Next up.
Hello.
Hi. So I attribute Friday nights to me how I got into Magic because it's just so hilarious. and
Real
delightful.
close. Sorry, because
Sorry.
the mics are the speakers are facing you, so it's hard for us to hear you.
Is this better?
Yo.
So I attribute Friday nights to how I got into Magic because it's so funny and I love it so much. So I was going to ask, how does the creative process kind of work for that, and how much does it parallel like real experience with real Magic, and also like how similar are your characters in that to how you guys are in real life? Just that general question.
The creative process for Friday nights is really interesting, actually, because we're working with a client, right? Because we're making them for Wizards of the Coast, right? So you can actually sit back down. It's cool. We have a lot of autonomy, honestly, when it comes to Friday nights, but obviously Wizards is involved. So, we'll be like, hey, there's this episode coming up at the end of this month. Is there anything we should hit? And sometimes Wizards will be like, well, this set's coming out, so maybe that set. Or often they'll be like, no, you could just do whatever. But the thing is, it's like, when a new thing is happening, when a new set is coming out, it makes sense for us to talk about that set anyway, because
It's topical.
That's the topical thing that people are talking about. That's the thing that we're talking about, and so that's, that all sort of adds up. And then we come up with the whole episode ourselves. We write it, and generally the extent of Wizards' input is that we send it to Wizards and we go, there you go, and then they go, yep, looks good. That's about it. Occasionally, they will be like, can you please not reference this movie, right? Because it's like, this is a copyrighted thing and we just don't want to avoid anything. And we're like, oh, right, I guess that is, okay, sure.
Yeah, I get in a lot of trouble with the term Highlander.
It's fine now. It used to be.
Is
yeah,
it?
it used to be the case.
Okay.
Well, when we did like very, very, very first ones,
Sure.
the first four, they were like, you have to blur out that Starbucks cup. And we were like, oh. So, but now that's not as much of a problem. Also, we've gotten better at not putting a Starbucks cup in shot, right? So we've learned to work within these guidelines. Because I've told this story before, but when we did the very first 4 episodes, we were like, do you want any sort of input? Do you want to sign off on the scripts? And the people that were working there at the time, who don't work there anymore, not because of this, but they were like, no, we don't want to influence you at all. We want you to do whatever it is that you would do. You just write the scripts and you do you. And we were like, okay. And so when we wrote all 4 episodes and we shot them and we sent them back in, and then they were like, cool. So we have some notes. And we're like, what? And they're like, yeah, you can't say this, you can't say this, you can't do this, you can't do that. And we were like, oh, that would have been good to know in the scripting process, not after we've shot it. So, okay. And so we had to go back and reshoot it and make a whole bunch of changes. But then the series was dormant for like a year and a half. And then Trick got a hold of us and he was like, hey, we want to bring this thing back. We want to do it like this. We want to actually have script approval. And we said, great, good. We want you to do that too, so that we don't have to reshoot stuff. And so, yeah, I think it's a lot better than, I think the relationship between us and Wizards creatively is a lot better than people would expect between content creators and a company.
Yeah.
But honestly, we have a huge amount of freedom, and they very rarely like get up in our business about like the actual content. And then the process for actually writing an episode is we have writing meetings, and everyone sort of was just like, hey, here's we want to do an episode. We don't have any ideas. The set's coming out, so maybe something about the set. Otherwise, meh. And we think about funny things that could be Magic related, and everyone throws ideas in, and we make an outline. And then usually Kathleen or myself goes away and takes the outline and puts it into a script. And yeah, that's
The writing meetings have been such a brilliant change for our entire creative process.
Yeah, can you imagine that even a year ago we didn't have weekly writing meetings?
Yeah.
Bad idea. So, yeah, and then there was another part to that question. It was like, how much do we in the show relate to us normally?
Not very, I hope.
Yeah.
I think we write a very exaggerated Seinfeld version of ourselves where we're all not monsters, but
Kinda.
we're petty and like kind of nasty.
It's hard to do comedy where everyone is really nice and gets along, and like where everyone's on the same page all the time. And so, actually, to the creative point, when we're talking to Wizards, we'll be like, "Hey, we want to have an episode where like Kathleen and Cameron are trying to do this thing, but they get it wrong, and it turns into a whole thing." And so, like, we'll get the feedback, and they'll be like, "That's cool. Make sure it's clear that this is bad because these are bad people, not because the thing is bad," which is the case, right? That's the thing. Is like, when we're doing, I'm trying to think of an example.
I have one, if I may.
Yeah.
There's 8 in the queue, and we're trying to find an 8-person draft pod, and the joke was Loading Ready Run is incompetent of ever getting everyone organized on the same page. Not that drafting is hard.
Yeah.
Like that's the type of line.
Or like really anything with Nelson at Yellow Jacket, right? It's like Nelson's not a jerk.
Yeah.
Yellow Jacket and your local game store are not mean to people.
They're not condescending.
We are just really irritating customers, so they don't put up with our crap.
Yeah.
But everyone else who goes to Yellow Jacket is great and is treated well because they're nice, normal people.
Yeah.
Also, it's never come up, I don't think, in any useful way, but internally, for us anyway, in the world of Friday nights, everyone plays Magic.
Yes.
Like, literally everybody.
That's
It just
canon.
hasn't really come up.
Even Beach plays Magic.
Yeah.
He helped in that one episode.
Oh, yeah. Or did we say that he didn't play?
Uh-oh.
I think maybe he's the only one that doesn't play.
I mean, that works either way.
I can't remember. Questions? Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
So let's say tomorrow you're put in charge of Magic world building, and you can take the next set wherever you want, your dream world. What would you do?
Back to Zendikar for a 3rd time. More
what about-
landfall.
So soon?
Hard
yeah.
mode. You can't do a return to.
No!
New world.
All right.
New snow set in Canada.
I kind of dig that.
It's like there's a second Merit Lodge, but it's just the Ogopogo.
Ooh, and there'd be moose.
It could be moose. Yeah. All right, let's get deep in the lore here. No more elk, they're moose.
Yeah.
New tribe, moose tribe.
I like it.
We can have a tribe of Canadian hockey players. They instead of a quip, we could have, if you have snowlands, they have snowland unblockable, which is
Okay.
called ice skating or snowshoeing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this works.
Yeah.
How do we get things like? How do we transliterate things like? Okay, so for example, in Innistrad,
Yeah.
the Trepanation blade was top-down designed as a chainsaw, right, from horror movies. But obviously, you can't have a chainsaw in Innistrad. How do we translate, like Tim Hortons?
Ooh.
We have a new mechanic called the double double,
Okay.
and it's you proliferate twice.
That
Yeah.
seems incredibly powerful.
Sure.
Oh, there is coffee on Ravnica. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
What if it's just a land that generates Timbits? I don't know what a Timbit does mechanically.
It would be a token.
Right, a token,
right.
and then you
And
sacrifice
you
it.
would sack it and nothing would happen.
Yeah.
Or when you get 20, you win the game.
There you
Oh,
go.
right. Yeah.
Or you get diabetes.
Or you just kind of sacrifice them and don't really notice, and then they're all gone.
Yeah.
And you feel terrible. You just feel really gross afterwards. They're like,
This
all
box
my
had
tokens
30
were gone.
Timbits in it 15 minutes ago. Where'd they all go?
Did it?
And like you're just sticky.
Yeah.
Like your hair
Just
is
like-
slicked back.
just like gaslight yourself about Timbits every time. You're like, I could have sworn this box was full, and you're like, no.
I mean, that's what happens. Timbits just evaporate.
Yeah.
No one really knows where they go.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I've eaten 1 or 2, but not that many.
Just lying to yourself about how many Timbits you've eaten.
There was an actual question during the Great Designer Search. There was, I wish I could remember who it was. They were talking about the idea of a set that was entirely subterranean.
Oh, yo, underwater set.
Wasn't that John's?
Underground.
Terranean
I think
is
it was John
ground.
I
Webb.
think it was John
subterranean.
Lowe.
I'm
He
sorry,
wanted to
right.
do the full underground. It's a dark.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Mole people.
Yes, they would also fit in the Canada set.
I would go for an entirely artificial world, but not like Mirrodin, but more inspired by like Umberto Eco and Borges, with like language and libraries and stuff. Because I'm a giant nerd.
That sounds rad, though.
Yeah, I know, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I have no idea what it would do.
I don't know either.
That's not our job.
Yeah, no,
we
figure
just
it
have
out.
to
Just
come up
hand
with
it
the
off to
idea.
R&D.
Yeah.
Right. We just have to pitch things. It's someone else's problem to make it work.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Ooh.
I'm an ideas man.
God help us. No.
Does any others among you have any further questions? Yes, please. Please come on up. You can be next. Anyone who wants to can. Yeah. No. Go. You, and then you.
Hi.
Hi.
So my question is there any like characters or people that have been like in the story or on cards that you would like to see, if they've already had a card, either represented again in a new way, or if they haven't, like have a card for them?
Does it have to be an un? Or just any
It can
set?
be a
Is there
normal
flavor?
card. I mean, we just got
any set.
Massacre Girl.
So, I have a character that I want to see, the next Planeswalker. There's a goblin through the history of the Ravnica sets.
Oh, the Legionnaire.
Yeah, I want the Legionnaire to
Right.
get their spark and become a Planeswalker. That's my story there. They started off as like a 1/1, and then by the third set, they're a Legion. Like they got their own army and stuff. That goblin needs to get a spark and a name.
I like that. That's good.
Because they worked their way up, right? They worked their way up from a lowly Boros goblin that was supposed to die. Now they're a Planeswalker. They can like rub shoulders with Jace, and you're like, hey, what's up? I'm also a Planeswalker.
I don't remember any of the names from flavor text, which is where most of these people show up before their actual cards.
On cards, yeah. I'm trying to think.
Let me think of maybe one that already exists that I'd like to see again. Really? Wow. For all the Magic I've played this weekend, I'm drawing a massive blank.
So another card I'd love to see exploit in the play space would be Tatiova.
Ooh.
I love the ability of Tatiova with
Yeah,
the
right.
landfall and the life gain and the draw cards. It's just that synergy package. So a second reprinting of that and another way of exploring what that card would do. I don't know, maybe a 4-drop. I'm just throwing that out there, you know.
Like that,
What was
yeah.
the name of the blue-red merfolk from, was it Oath of the Gate? Oh, yeah, Jorienne. I thought red was a really interesting
yeah.
color for a merfolk.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
enjoyed her character when she showed up in that one story. And yeah, I would like to see her again.
Yeah. All right.
Merfolk dirtbag.
I don't have an answer right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm sorry.
You had a question. Approach the noise machine.
Even though I'm kind of short. So what Planeswalker do you associate with every single LRR member?
Whoa.
Even the ones that don't play Magic.
Ooh.
Well, you shave the beard, so you look less like Garrick now, Graham.
Yep. Yeah. It was. I'm just gonna tell myself that I was growing that beard for the part, even though I didn't shave it after I shot that video. That beard was a mistake.
That's a hard.
I could still go with Garrick. Why not?
Yeah.
All right.
Cameron, I'm thinking of you as what's that goblin planeswalker that does all the loot?
Duretti?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I'm looking at Cameron, and you'd think Cameron would be like a blue planeswalker, but I'm thinking like a tinkerer, like a goblin tinkerer.
All right.
Yeah.
I was going to say Tamio, but
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. No. I actually I like Tamio because of all the books and the gathering of information and everything as well. Maybe actually, you know who's the tinkerer? Mm-hmm. Actually, there might be two of them. I'm thinking Ian.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Ian is totally Duretti. I take that back. Sorry,
Yeah.
Cameron.
Who's Beej?
Tybalt. Tybalt doesn't understand magic either, James.
Wow.
Or Sarkhan.
Ooh, Sarkhan. I like Sarkhan. Maybe
What?
I was gonna say Koth, but yeah.
Beej of the Hammer?
Yeah.
Both.
Sorry, Both really caught me off guard.
Yeah. Is Kathleen Liliana? Is that too easy?
No. I don't think.
Sometimes easy things are true. I don't know.
I don't know. Kathleen strikes me as a Soren.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Kathleen is Soren.
Yeah. That tracks.
Yeah.
Gosh, who else?
What about Paul?
Paul. Yeah, I'm trying to think of Paul. Maybe like a Ral.
Ooh, or
Or-
Karn. Karn.
No,
for Paul.
Car. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see
All
that.
right, so Paul is Karn.
Yeah, because Paul creates amazing machines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Okay, who are we missing? Adam. Oh, Adam's Koth, though, right?
Oh, yo.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mega
What?
swollen
Oh,
invincible.
right, James.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Nicol Bolas.
Oh, no. Are you a Chad? Are
Get
you
out
are
of
you
here.
the
Get
Gideon
off
of
the
Loading Ready
stage.
Run?
No. Get out of here.
But you tank all the aggro for us.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Maybe James is a Johnny because he's so
Heather.
supportive.
Heather, Corey. Corey's like, I was thinking like Vivian maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would definitely put red in Corey's color identity.
Sorry, what? I honestly can't hear you either.
I would say like Corey would have a very red or blue color identity.
Who are the twins from Battle Bond? I'm just trying to think
Toothy and
No. Those are legendary creatures.
Wow.
It's like Rowan and Will and Rowan, yeah. I'm not necessarily suggesting them for anybody. I was just like, who are the planeswalkers I haven't thought of?
There are so many.
I know.
Yeah, there's a lot now. There's so many now. Who am I?
Venser?
Am I a Venser?
Yeah, Serge as Venser makes sense to me.
What is the character of Venser?
Or Lord Windgrace, because he mucks about with lands.
All right. Yeah, all right.
Ooh, maybe I'm Angrath, because he's the only planeswalker that we know is explicitly a dad.
I really wanted Angrath to show up in War of the Spark midway through singing Happy Birthday with one of those like paper party hats and a cake. Just being like, and then there's like this explosion in Angrath there, and he's like, "To you, not again!" Right?
He'd be so mad.
All right. I think we can wrap
Yeah,
that
I
one
can't
up.
think of anyone else offhand.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
other questions from the assembled party?
Perfect.
No? Oh, yes.
Oh, there we go.
We got one. Hello.
Hello. Oh. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
So I've been watching you guys for like 6-7 years now, and it's been a real pleasure like watching you guys grow and like the cast grow and all that.
Thank
and
you.
I just want to start off with that. Let's see. Throughout like any format, what's been your favorite deck to play that like you always like think of and remember fondly?
Ooh.
Right off the bat, I'm going to go with Dragon's Maze Nivix Cyclops.
Nice.
Force it every time.
I used to love playing Enchantress and Highlander until I started just losing every time I sleeved it up. Yeah, the format got too fast for me to just dirtle and do nothing for 10 turns.
The only time I ever did, I think the only time I ever went to F&M years ago when we first started playing Magic, I played a white-black tokens deck, and that's still in my head. Mirroring Crusader and Lingering Souls,
Yo.
and God, that deck was sweet. Loved it.
I'm just trying to think of draft decks. I really liked white-blue Heroic in Theros. I liked green-white aggro in Innistrad, which is impossible to get now
Do you
because... Huh?
Do you remember the wall deck in Return to Ravnica where you could ping them? Not quite the Vent Sentinel deck, but there was like a spells matter blue-red. Every time you cast a spell, untap, or you can just ping them end of turn.
And Doorkeeper as well.
Lobber Crew?
There we go.
Which?
Lobber Crew.
Lobber Crew.
Yes.
That was a deck. You're
Although
like-
the Rise of Eldrazi Walls deck was also very, very cool. Yeah. But you can't get the Innistrad one anymore because every time Innistrad comes back on like flashback drafts, everyone just goes, "Great, we're forcing spider spawning," and ruins the signals.
Like, okay.
That's the same with
Cons.
Cons. Whenever it comes back on flashback, everyone just goes, "Great, we're forcing 5-color morphs."
It's
And then-
hilarious.
Yeah. Well, because it was interesting that like when the format was out, it was a slow development into that, and that was sort of where the format ended. Like the decks were fairly normal, and then it got to the end of the format, and it was like, oh, this can actually be a deck. But then that's all anyone remembers. When it comes back on flashback, it's like, right, the format where we forced 5-color morphs, and then no one has a good deck. It's like, well, great. All 8 of our decks are crap. I hope you're all happy. That wasn't your question, but there's the answer we gave. I gave a real answer in there somewhere.
You're good.
Anybody else? Yes.
Hi.
And then you have another one you said? Great.
You're good.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Great. So I know many of us play Magic on and off, and but I wanted to ask, what was your earliest memory of Magic, and what card had the most significance to you when you first started?
Earliest memory of Magic was I did well enough on my report card in whatever grade I was in 94, 95?
Yo.
Maybe 94. And my reward was a revised starter deck and 6 booster packs.
Dang.
And I remember opening up Force of Nature, and that to this day is still probably the most sort of like, I see that card and it's like, okay, that all comes roaring back. So
The chase card in 94 was that Shivam Dragon.
yeah. But yeah, that's mine. Earliest Magic memory.
I remember the first time I saw a Magic card, which was I was taken with my mother to go to Fabricland, and above Fabricland was the game store, and I had some money, and I was going to go and buy like a Tales of the Jedi comic, but instead I saw these cards, and I was like, hey, but what are those? And I remember getting the little rules book and reading the example of Scrib Sprites attacking, and I think blocking Mon's Goblin Raiders in like the little revised box. And then I think I got a Lord of the Pit, and in Fallen Empires I was able to trade into a spawning pool.
Cool.
Or spawning pit? The thing that made thralls. It sucked.
Yeah.
It was terrible. But it fed Lord of the Pit.
Nice. I remember buying a Ice Age starter deck, which at the time, for anyone unfamiliar with what that was, it was 60 cards, and it was just a whole bunch of stuff. How many rare? It was like 2 rares, like 10 uncommons, and then a bunch of commons and land in a little tiny deck box. And what I didn't understand is that wasn't a deck you could just play.
Really?
Because it was 5 colors.
Oh, I mean, I remember those.
So I was like, all right, I guess I play with this.
Right, there's the starter boxes like that James was talking about.
Yeah.
So you didn't get one of the starter decks. Yeah, they used to sell 60 cards, but you're
Yeah.
right, just a mix of things.
Yeah, exactly. It was all random. It was all over the place.
Instead of booster packs. Yeah.
And then
it had basic lands in it too, which was weird.
Yeah, and then the earliest card I remember, the earliest specific card from, these are from like the playing unsleeved on concrete in the schoolyard days, was Chromium. Because someone had all the various Elder Dragons from Chronicles, and I was like, whoa, Chromium looks sick as hell. Because it was a giant
Dragon.
shiny metal dragon, and it looked effing awesome. So yeah.
One of my favorite Magic stories from my youth, and I may have told this one before, was it's like 94, 95. And for Christmas, I asked my very Italian grandmother for Magic cards.
Oh no.
Yeah, and Christmas Day, I see a box, the same shaped box that you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
And I open it up, and I'm super excited. And inside are magician's cards, marked cards so I can do tricks. And I look up at my nonna, and she's just like,
Oh, that's so sweet.
and so even then I learned to lie. I'm just like, thank you, nonna.
She got you a wonderful gift.
It was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
You're a good boy, Serge.
And I think the card that made the largest impact in my youth. Do you remember Royal Assassin?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
3 mana 1/1 for
Yeah.
1 black. Tap to destroy target tapped creature. How do you beat that thing? It kills everything. They can't attack you.
Haha.
Oh yeah, like 9-year-old me was like, I win. You have to concede.
Judge, I've demonstrated a loop. What? What's the loop? Well, if they tap a creature, I kill it. That's not a loop.
Then your opponent plays Sarah Angel, and you have like a complete break.
Oh, yeah. You just fall apart inside.
Yeah.
You had another question, you said.
Oh,
it was a
wow.
question.
Perfect.
Wow. Amazing. And yes.
I mean, I'd like to elaborate on my thank you from earlier.
Sure.
So my partner got me into watching your content while I was in grad school. And one day I was really bored grading, and I just started watching Tap Tap Concede from the beginning. And I just got so... I didn't understand what you were talking about with the drafts and stuff, but I got so excited by the Crack-a-Packs and you guys reminiscing about your experiences playing the game, the worlds, the flavor stuff. So when my partner came home from the lab, I said, you used to collect these cards, right? Next time you visit your parents, go get them. We're building decks.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, being here kind of brings that full circle.
That's so cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. I really appreciate it. I think that's actually probably a wonderful moment to start wrapping up on.
I agree.
All right. Well then, I guess that will do it for us from here at MagicFest. This show is brought to you by CardKingdom.com. Check out CardKingdom.com/LRR. Tap Tap Concede is also brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun. I do want to give a shout out to CFB Events for having us here, and in particular, Dennis, Jeff, and Steve for doing all of this part.
Thank you, friends.
Of things. I really, really do appreciate that. And also for getting us this file that you're watching, the video file. And yeah, I guess that'll do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for watching, and we will talk to you next week on Tap Tap Concede.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. For those of you who are here, by the way, Mara wanted to arrange a little Loading Ready Run get-together. A bunch of us are going to watch the Wrestlemans, so we won't be able to join you. But if you wanted to hang out and, I assume, play Magic and maybe get some food or something, cool. I guess rally at the booth, which Beej will be packing up momentarily. So, yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Mention that. Thanks, everybody, for coming and listening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yay.